All right, here's the one thing that gets me about Bernie Sanders, um, and it's really sad. It's it's that he's supporting Israel. He wants them to encourage a suggestion, and it's like we've had decades of them ignoring us, ignoring the U.S. And what horrifies me is he's like, oh, and he's said it multiple times. Oh, I condemn the attacks, the horrible atrocities on October 7th. And we know for a fact that no, like, there's two things here that the IDF fired upon hostage takers with the hostages inside, killing them all. They rescued like two hostages that, and a lot of them were being held outside of Gaza, and they were just bulldozed, well, blown the hell up, probably with white phosphorus, because they were burned. Remember the 1400 that was reduced to 1200 is because they were burnt beyond recognition. That's Willie Pete. That's white phosphorus. That's incendiary rounds. That's let's wipe them out. It's horrendous what they did, the IDF. And the second point is that it's getting drummed home by actual Israeli journalists who work for Haaretz. And they say, they have been saying for years, that the ultra religious IDF, the settler base, has taken over the Knesset. Uh, Netanyahu's coalition is ultra right wing religious nationalism, and it has taken over, and that's why all those protests for protesting the judicial reform, because the secular elite Israelis who are on the moderate seat, left and right, are supporting the settlements. They don't even question it. But the small, very small fraction of the population who are opposed to the settlements are in the extreme minority. So the protests are simply about, hey, you're taking away our freedoms, like Israeli Jew elite freedoms. Don't you dare. And that's what the protests were about. So you've got this fanatic bunch of morons in the military who laid indiscriminate waste to the Hamas outside of Gaza, killing them all, and hostages too. And they got to eat their cake and have it too by claiming, oh, the Hamas killed all those hostages and burned them alive and beheaded 40 babies, boo-hoo-hoo. And it's like, Jesus Christ, how can you stand here and not know by now? Have you not listened to anything that ex hostage who was rescued, who was able to be saved because the commander holding her gave up. She was saved, and she spoke out about this. So it's her voice. I don't know what's happening to her right now. She's probably gotten death threats, but it's like, this woman was brave enough to speak out. She lost her husband to these morons who blew the hell out of those buildings. It's like, you had a hostage situation. Okay, well, freaking have a negotiator. You don't negotiate with terrorists, but at least freaking try to not kill your own hostages. You've captured them. They're not going anywhere. And what do? You just kill them out of hand the first day. Boom, done. Because it was like, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna kill them all. And that was the attitude of these ultra religious whack jobs. And it's like, you're committing genocide, and you see them as subhuman. You are fascist Judean Nazi, Judaic Nazis. And it's like, what the hell? This idiot has been supporting them. Oh, we have to have strings attached. No, you don't. You've had suggestions to the Israeli government for decades, and they've run amok because they know they can get away with it, and they have for decades. So this guy is trying to have his cake and eat it too, going, "Oh yes, you know, the public view is the worldwide public view is against the war, and oh, we have to, like, you know, have strings attached to this funding." And it's like, so my question is, my final takeout of this is unrelated to the video. I'm sure they will mention it, but well, they talked about Ukraine, the Ukraine package, but it's like, how can you not add the two and ask him straight up, look, how is can you speak, like we asked and you said you don't know what the Biden is thinking, or anybody's thinking, but what do you think the GOP is thinking when they're denying Ukraine aid, but totally giving a blank check to Israel? What's with that? Right? What is with that? Like that total backstab of Ukraine, which we knew was going to happen at some point. You know they're just going to go, oh, we're bored, or use it as a pawn in their little game of, oh, we're going to shut down the government. It's like, what the, it's just so mental. It's like, you can't, they've played political theater for so long, they forgot that everywhere else doesn't believe them at all. Like, there's no way anybody believes that denying an extension of the debt. It's like, the only reason the world economy is not collapsing is because you're milking off that U.S. Everybody deals in U.S. dollars around the world. It's like the gold standard, and you have toyed with that idea of shutting the government down, blah, blah, and refusing to extend the debt. It's like, it's just a charade. It's just one of those circus things you guys in government do. You're gonna extend the debt because that's how the whole edifice works. The bankers aren't gonna allow you to do it. So you're just gonna play the idea of, oh, we're gonna not. And it's like, no, you totally are. You're bought and paid for by the bankers. The bankers won't let you do it. So yeah, it's like, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And the fact that Ukraine is being used as a pawn here is just, it's like, what did you expect, Ukraine? It's like, seriously, what did you expect? At some point they're going to start playing you like a pawn. You can't hold the public attention forever, especially the US. Yeah, the U.S. using the Ukraine as a proxy to deplete the Russian powerhouse. What were they thinking? Like, just let them negotiate a peace for Christ's sake, It's like, could you at least start talking and not have this? Just notice, I think that's a typo. Anyways, I'm blabbing.